ladies and gentlemen. So today I wanted to do a video talking and going over the mightiest medic in the Marvel universe, which is Night Nurse in Marvel Strike Force. And this character is insane. She's pretty much, I like to classify her as the only viable healer right now, because a lot of the healers, man, they're just complete wank. Like they're barely touching the sides, boys. They're barely putting in any work at all. But Night Nurse, she does overtime, man. She is running those overtime shifts to be an MVP character for the level 60 raid. She's so incredibly good for that, and I think that's really the area at the moment that this character really shines in. I think she can also be somewhat viable and useful for stuff like Blitz and also Arena, but I don't really think she's a top option for that. But when it comes to kind of longer scenarios where you need a increased amount of sustainability and it's not kind of a burst fiesta like Arena and Blitz are at the moment, then Night Nurse is just such a valuable character. And I think, like, a month or so ago, like, before we had the level 60 raids, the level 50 raids have always been, like, quite straightforward, quite easy for a lot of players who've been on the cusp of the game. But the level 60 raids have really, like, forced a lot of us to sit down and kind of reevaluate our strategies. And just one of the characters that just comes to the top, if you watch yesterday's video, and we are going to show some insane Night Nurse gameplay toward the end of this, Night Nurse is just absolutely ridiculous in kind of the combination of like Black Widow, Quake, and also Captain America, because it just allows you to control the fight so well, slowing down the enemies, speeding up your team, funneling ability energy into random characters. Like, it all just works so nicely to control the fight while Night Nurse keeps everybody topped up. So yeah, just an absolute MVP character there. But yeah, to go over some of the strengths of this character. Again, she's really good for raids. The biggest weakness of Night Nurse is when she's not healing, she is not really doing much, man. Her damage is just absolutely awful. It's just very grim. Just on the basic attack, we got attack primary target for 210% damage, but Night Nurse's attack, it doesn't really cut through. And also the basic attack has a 30% chance to apply slow for 2 turns. Upgraded to level 6, this goes up to a 50% chance. But again, it's still not a reliable slow, man, and most of the time that you're using Night Nurse, you also have Quake, so this isn't really something that you need to be honest, bother upgrading. Like, I don't think the level 1, you know, is kind of worth the tier 3 ability materials for it, but, you know, it's a nice little thing if you're looking to top off the roster, but it's certainly not a priority there. So then we go on to the second ability, which is a single target heal, which is kind of a good addition to the character, but not the really insane heal, which we're going to talk about next. So this one will heal the lowest character, the lowest health ally, and this includes minions, so you got to be a little bit careful when you're playing with characters like Yondu if any of the Ravengers get chipped. So for 3,300 health plus 15% of this character's max health, so on my Night Nurse, which is a 5-star one at gear level 10, this is like roughly just under like 10,000 damage, which for a single target one that has like a couple of turns cooldown, you know, it's alright to throw out now and again, but it's not really a game changer. It's not really going to kind of bring everybody back, but yeah, it's kind of a nice super basic heal we have there. But the ultimate ability, ladies and gentlemen, this is where it freaking is at. Heal all allies for 2,500 health plus 10% of this character's max health, and apply regeneration to each ally for 2 turns. Now, just on the base heal, which is the 2.5k plus 10% of my Night Nurse's health, it's just under a 7,000 heal whenever I use this instantly to the team, and then it's regeneration to each ally for 2 turns. So every time the turn comes around in the level 60 raids, it is just under 9,000 health. It's like 8,700 something. So if you add up the value of like that additional, let's just round up just for easy math's sake here, of like additional, like first one you got 7k, and then you've got 2 times 9k following the next 2 turns. That's 25k. And again, this isn't a maxed out Night Nurse. Again, it's spread over a little bit amount of time, but it really brings your team back quickly, man. especially if you've got speed up on Black Widow, and you are just smashing out those turns. It's going so quickly. So yeah, the ultimate on Night Nurse is just absolutely ridiculous and the main source of healing. So if you're fairly limited for kind of ability upgrade materials, this is definitely, out of all of her abilities, the one to focus on and hammer out and make sure it's fully upgraded, because this is where you're getting the big value in terms of her regeneration and heals. But again, her heals being percentage health base, this character benefits so much from additional stars and also gear. So yeah, she's a really good character to gear up, and I imagine once over at tier 10 and probably 7-star, then that ultimate area of effect heal is going to be close to something like 30, maybe 32,000. So yeah, it's going to be really dank. Looking forward to that. And finally, you also have an additional heal, which is a passive. On turn, if the ally with the least health has less than 100% health, a 20% chance to heal them for 10% of this character's maximum health. So yeah, this isn't really anything too insane, but it's kind of nice for, you know, just random spouts of healing here and there. But again, it is not going to be a huge or insane amount of healing, just a nice little top up here and there. So it's alright, man, and all of the healing does add up at the end of the day. But again, a big source of Night Nurse's healing is coming from that ultimate ability. So the characters that she synergizes really well with are Quake, Black Widow to slow down the opponent, speed up the team, Captain America, Jessica Jones if you want to funnel more ability energy potentially into her, and also if you just want to, you know, slow down the fight and control a little bit more. Kingpin with his defense up can be also a valuable addition to bring to combo with Night Nurse. So yeah, basically any characters that slow down the fight, increase survivability, throw out ability energy, give you more ultimate attacks or more time to get off your ultimate are going to be absolute MVPs when paired with Night Nurse. So a bit of an interesting one there. So yeah, where do you farm Night Nurse? Is she a fairly free-to-play friendly character? And the answer is yes, she's available in Heroes Assemble 5.9, which does take a little while to get to, but she's also a little bit of a lower bar, and also Villains 3.9 as well. So yeah, within the first like month or so of playing the game, you should be able to get up to a level where you can clear both of these missions if you're playing on a daily basis and, you know, utilizing your energy and being efficient. And yeah, there are 2 sources where you can farm Night Nurse every single day, so it's quite easy initially to get Night Nurse unlocked, because I believe she becomes available as a 2-star. I think it's only 50 shards to unlock her. So yeah, she's not too bad to get your hands on initially, but again, this is all a little bit random. She's also available in any of the basic orbs, any of the premium orbs. There's also, just at the moment, there's an offer for Night Nurse that just popped up, like right as I was recording this video, but this offer is terrible, man. It's like, you know, it's kind of taking the piss, like $34 just for 50 shards. It's just rubbish, man. It's just not good value at all. If that was like $5, I'd be like, wait, that's a pretty sweet offer, but that, you know, it's really a bit of a piss take, that one. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of that one at all. But yeah, also in terms of Night Nurse, just to go over kind of some of her stats and stuff, point out anything interesting, like the health on Night Nurse is pretty decent. She's got an alright buffer there, nothing too special. Damage is again pretty low, nothing too special there. The armor isn't so great, but it's definitely higher than characters like Gamora, so she's not super squishy, but she is always a character that you want to hide behind a tank, ideally speaking. And yeah, focus resistance, crit damage, crit chance, all pretty standard. The speed is 100, so it's not super fast, not super slow, just kind of in the middle there. But anything, you know, kind of over 100 or over speed is fairly decent for the character to have. 0% chance to dodge or 0% chance to block. So yeah, your hits are always going to land on her if you are fighting against a Night Nurse, so she's a pretty reliable target to nuke down. But yeah, Night Nurse, like, she's, I don't know, depends on the matchup, man. She might be a priority for some things, but for the most part, general target priority in Marvel Strike Force at the moment is figure out, like, who has the big super ultimate ability that's going to kill me, and then nuke that character down as quickly as possible. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, now that we've talked about Night Nurse, explained her abilities, talked about some of the best matchups and all that stuff, and how to get the character, we are now going to go into some level 60 raid gameplay, just so you guys can practically see how awesome this character is. So let's transition into that. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back in the level 60 raid. Now, this is a node which is one of the most annoying nodes to deal with at the start, especially if you're not prepared for it, because there is a supercharged Quake with already instantly her Earthquake ability active, full speed bar right at the start of the fight. So as you can see, this fight is super fun and interactive. Earthquake right at the start there, and every single turn she can use her Earthquake. So yeah, this is just a crazy annoying fight here, but also a fantastic opportunity to show you how Night Nurse can help to cut through some of this rubbish here. So yeah, we're trying to get this Quake crowd controlled as quickly as possible, because also a speed bar seems to move like insane at the start of the fight, but we're going to just apply the slow here on Quake, because we're going to try and get it down as quickly as possible. Stun the Quake as well. We managed to get a single target heal just to top Night Nurse off a little bit earlier round, but as you can see, our team is looking very, very shaky at the moment. Bit of a triage heal there on Captain America, so a bit of value. Also got the Stitcher contributing to help topping the team up, but our team is still in a fairly dire situation, you know, and this is the first wave of like 3 different waves as well, but our gal Night Nurse, she's about to pull it back with that ultimate ability. As you can see there, the regeneration when character's turn comes around is 8,776, so yeah, just under 9,000 like we were saying at the start, but just an insane amount of value. And as you can see, just from like that one ultimate ability, pretty much everybody's gone from about like 30% to 50% health, almost back up to full, and the Stitchers are doing a really, really good job in combination with Night Nurse of keeping everybody topped up and ready to go and ready to wreck in the next phase. So yeah, just an awesome recovery back from Night Nurse on the start. So yeah, really, really awesome stuff once you can get the fight under control there. Now what we're trying to do is we're trying to bring down a lot of these opponents kind of toward a similar time, because as soon as you kill one of them, like the entire next wave drops down. So I'm going to try and kill, like what I'm trying to do here is kill 2 at once if it looks like I'm attacking these a little bit weird, and also trying to get the Reaper down as much as possible. Here I just decide, because, you know, I got a couple of turns ahead, we're just going to use the ultimate top up, like we have plenty of time as well before the next and final wave to, what is it, yeah, just get that healing in and also get additional ability turn cooldowns. So a lot of Night Nurse as well is trying to kind of maximize that stuff, but here we're nuking the Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange on this node in the level 60 raid is a huge priority, because if he's left to his second turn, he can revive, and he revives Quake, and then Quake is just going to spam her Earthquake. So yeah, you need to be very, very careful on that, but if you get him down quick, it isn't too much of a problem at all. So yeah, here I'm just trying to make a decision of what I want to do. I think I go for the ability energy play just to get everybody topped up. Everybody's looking good now, but also one potential character to look out for is Mordo, because as you can see there, he applied a group-wide heal block, which lasts for 2 turns. So if Night Nurse is ever in any sort of, wherever in any sort of like PvP meta where Night Nurse and healing is like a really, really big factor, then Mordo is like the, looks to be the ultimate counter when he is eventually released. But I don't know, man, big damage as well, just seems to get through most of the healing at the moment. Again, the only, at least viable healer that I think at the moment is kind of Night Nurse, like Yondu. He has a little bit of regeneration with the Stitches, and you can see in longer fights like this, the healing does really, really add up, but it's a character like Night Nurse that you need just to entirely swing something like this back. So yeah, that's it for the first example in the level 60 raid. Now, moving on the next fight, I had a very lucky day today because I had like 2 of the worst fights to do back to back, which if you watched yesterday's video, you would have seen this fight as well. And this is the one where you have the supercharged vision at the start. Again, super fun and interactive, but you can deal with it if you are prepared and know exactly what you're doing. But yeah, he's always going to use his team attack, and it deals like a ridiculous amount of damage. See, it's just cutting through the team there. Absolutely insane. So what we're going to try and do is just get him crowd controlled as quickly as possible, and I think here I'm kind of debating whether or not to use defense up and ability energy, and I decide to not use it that turn just to try and get more ability energy into Night Nurse, and also dispel the Drax so that we can slow vision and also mitigate damage that way as well. But as you can see, regeneration right off at the start, so we've countered that initial vision damage from his blast, we've slowed him down, we're controlling him, we're controlling the fight. Now we get the defense up on Captain America, and now we're just trying to figure out how to get to vision, get through these taunts as quickly as possible so that we can get him down. But also time is very much a factor on this node as well, because the aim minions are really, really stacked and just take ages to kill along with Drax. So I tried to go for the Dispel there, see if we can get rid of Taunt. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. Got the single target heal that kind of pretty much saves our Night Nurse there. Our Night Nurse was a little bit of a dire situation. That's the second fight in a row that she's been red. And here I think we go for Quake and get the Earthquake, hoping to get offense down on Vision. I probably should have targeted the Vision, actually. I think that guarantees the offense down would have been applied to it. him. But luckily we got the stun as well, Fire Black Widow. So yeah, that's maybe my excuse for being a scrub there. Maybe I knew the stun was coming off cooldown and we'd have it all prepared. So yeah, just getting people topped up now, and nuking that vision while we have an opening without any taunt. And down goes Vision, and in comes the next wave of AIM minions. And as you can see here, we haven't been too lucky with the ability energy flowing into Night Nurse, but we are one turn off having that ultimate heal, and that is pretty much going to sort us for the rest of the fight, because in terms of the AIM minions, there like really isn't too much to worry about in terms of damage. Like the AIM monstrosity, if left alive, can be a bit of a pain in the ass, but he does, like, on his very first turn, always apply offense down to himself, as well as offense up. So, like, he's not too bad to nuke at all. So we're just going in, trying to get the AIM monstrosity down. I think at this point, like, I'm not really concerned about damage. Like, the biggest thing I'm concerned about at this point in this particular fight is the timer, because this one has been very, very clutch to me many, many times in the past. So yeah, we're just trying to nuke as much through these opponents as quickly as we possibly can. Summoning in some additional Ravengers on Yondu, getting that offense up. Luckily, my Ravengers didn't get slayed today by Drax, so that was pretty decent there. And Yondu's just such a great character, you know, if you keep him alive, just building up the Ravenger army there. Get a clutch, almost 10k a heal on the Quake there. Getting her topped up. She's in a little bit. She's not doing too bad, to be honest now. Like, she's about, like, 60-65%, so I'm not overly worried. But I do know that the team needs a top up, so we use Night Nurse's ultimate ability there, get the sweet regeneration. So that's a fantastic time, man. Really putting it in. Now, paying a bit of closer attention here, like watching my video back, I've realized something a little bit odd with Night Nurse, and that's the regeneration. I don't think it actually lasts 2 turns. I think it's just all in 1 turn. And yeah, because whenever it comes around, it just seems to be like 1 burst of regeneration, which is something, honestly, I wasn't paying close enough attention to before. But it's a very, very interesting one. So yeah, I'm not really too sure if Night Nurse is bugged at the moment, and she's like just consuming like both the regenerations in 1 turn. I don't know if the value for the regen is like meant to be split over 2 turns, or if it's just giving you the same value that you get over 2 turns in a single turn, and that's what is making her heal so crazy. But that is a bit of an interesting one. So ladies and gentlemen, that 25k that we were saying earlier might actually be a little bit lower. You know, if that is correct, it's going to be around, what is it, about 16,000 instead, which is still really good, man. That's still a lot of healing there. But yeah, a bit of an interesting one. I'm not really too sure what the state of that is, actually, so it's a little bit curious to think about. But as you can see here, like, Night Nurse is still a fully sustainable character for the raids, man. She's just cutting through, doing so much work. So yeah, definitely, as soon as you can, grind out this character, gear her up. Do not buy that terrible offer today, man. That offer is just absolutely taking the piss. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. Take care and have an absolutely fantastic day.